Okay, I'm wanting now to explain what is part of the cowling section of the firewall forward assembly. The yellow thing on the ground there is the fiberglass nose bowl, and followed by the top part of the cowling and the two side pieces and the spacer brackets that are a part of it. All of this, once it's bolted onto the fuselage, allows the engine to be independent from the cowling itself. I'd like to now point out some of the features of the engine so that you can be acquainted with its assembly. It has a 1.1 to 1.6 reduction drive. It's going to come with the spinner and the propeller, and the nuts for the spinner are right behind the the cap here, and you back up those half-inch bolts with a wrench that is grounded down so it can fit in the slot here. You can have top part of the cowling removed and just the nose bowl here, and be able to adjust the propeller. In addition to the engine, just want to point out some of the way in which this has been assembled, and I would imagine you just put it on your 701 exactly the way it's on mine. The air baffles here are installed after or before, prior to mounting the intake manifold for each of the Bing carburetors. So once you remove the manifold, then this unit can be removed, or for installation purposes, once you've installed the engine, you install the baffle and then the intake manifold in the carburetor. I've used a standard linkage that came with the Rotax engine. The cables and the attachments are identical, so it should be an easy application. I have mounted the oil filter on top of the engine, and there is an inlet on the top of the cowling for ventilation. The mounting bracket for the oil cooler is this bracket right here, and it's mounted onto the main bracket for the motor mount on both sides. So once you install the engine, then you can install the bracket supporting the engine first, so you can take off and reinstall the bracket one side at a time. This has dual ignition. The primary ignition is the Bosch distributor, and I have the each of the cables labeled. So in this particular application, cylinder number 1 is over here on the pilot's side, closest to the firewall, and the firing order, I believe, is 1, 4, 2, 3. Anyway, the manual will have it, and it's all marked. Included in the firewall forward are the probes for the exhaust temperature for both left and right side, as well as an oil pressure gauge that measures the oil pressure, obviously, and then there's the sensor for the oil temperature right down here, and then on each side is an exhaust cylinder head temperature for the spark plug right behind the spark plug. I believe that's all we need to say about this at this time. The firewall forward package will of course include the motor mount, as well as any of the engine gauges that I've used on this particular installation.